I Love a Mystery. A Carlton E. Morse audio novel featuring Jack, Doc, and Reggie, specialists in crime and adventure. Now following the Northwest trail of a missing millionaire, a killer cougar, and the Phantom Castle. This is Fred Foy introducing Jim Harmon's presentation of Les Tremaine and Tony Clay in an original Carlton Morse thriller, The Fear That Creeps Like a Cat. Seven o'clock at night in the great reception room of the Phantom Castle on an unidentified island somewhere off the west coast of Canada, Jack, Doc, and Reggie are prisoners of Richard Cooper. Here are the essential facts. The castle, built in 1700 by the Russians, sank with the island only to emerge from the sea some 150 years later. It was found and restored by Richard Cooper and Alexander Archer, unbeknownst to the world. About the island is a vicious reef, preventing any ship from approaching and anyone on the island from escaping. Immediately about the castle is a deep moat of swift water, so that the castle stands on a tiny island within the main island. And here, within these great rooms, the three comrades are prisoners. Doc is in particular danger because he is disliked by Cooper, and whom Cooper dislikes, he destroys. The trio and their captor host have just finished dinner and have retired to the great reception hall.
Well, that was a very good dinner, Cooper.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How was it that Linda Joyce didn't dine with us?
Oh, she prefers to eat in her own quarters. Do sit down. Sit down, all of you. Make yourselves comfortable.
Look here, did I see you just now press a button?
That's right.
But that means electricity.
Oh, yes. We have our own power plant. A little bit incongruous in an ancient castle, I admit, but still, we have it.
Then why not electric lights?
What's that?
You say you got electricity. Why don't you have some electric lights then instead of these here smelly old oil lamps?
I beg your pardon. They are not in the least smelly.
Well, that's what my mama always used to say down in Texas. She used to say, darn a smelly, smoky old lamp anyway.
I prefer the old-fashioned virtues myself.
You consider the oil lamp an old-fashioned virtue?
I most certainly do. Oh, yes. Just one thought, gentlemen. Prometheus.
I say, that brute of a wolf dog.
On guard, Prometheus. Just in case any of you might take it into your heads that you can avoid my hospitality. I won't be long.
What's he mean he won't be long? Where's he going?
I say, I wish that bloody beast would stop grinning in this direction.
Prometheus? That's no grin. That's a leer.
Keep looking at me with those bloodshot eyes, fangs like a bear.
Yeah, more wolf than dog, if you ask me.
That bell he wears on his collar is a fine bit of irony in itself.
Well, gentlemen, I haven't been any longer than necessary. I hope you haven't been bored.
Oh, not in the least.
Hi, Frankie. Oh, sit the cat.
Never mind the bouquet.
Frankie?
Yeah, Mr. Cooper.
You have the handcuffs?
Handcuffs? Hey.
Yeah, here they are, Mr. Cooper.
Oh, yes, very good. Now, Mr. Packard, if you'll lay your wrists along the arm of the chair.
What's the idea, Cooper?
On guard, Prometheus.
What's the matter with you, Cooper? Tell that wolf to lie down.
Now, Prometheus stands ready until you're all handcuffed to your chairs.
Well, that's ridiculous. You've shown us that we can't get out of the castle, let alone off the island.
That's right.
Then why handcuff us to our chairs?
In due time, Mr. Packard, in due time. Your wrists, please.
I refuse to be handcuffed.
Frankie? Yeah.
Why, you low down...
Doc, don't move. Look at that dog.
Good thing you didn't move, Mr. Long. Prometheus would have been at your throat.
Yeah, doggone.
Oh, yes. Well, thank you, Frankie.
That's the second dirty blow you've given me, Frankie, my boy. Packard the pachyderm, they call me. Never forgets an injury.
Now then, Mr. York.
Doc and I could give him a bit of a battle.
With that wolf standing over Doc.
Yeah, one whiff of his breath makes me weak at the knees.
But at least we've got a fighting chance.
No use, Reggie. Save it.
That's good advice, young man. Good advice. Now, the other arm. That's it.
Bally well don't like it. I can tell you that.
All right, Prometheus. It's okay. Lie down. Now then, Frankie, bring that table with the lamp on it over here.
Yeah, sure. Table, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, ain't you gonna handcuff me the same way as you done Jack and Reggie?
Oh, that's right, Mr. Long.
Oh, yeah? But look here, why not?
Aren't you enjoying your special privileges? That's it, Frankie. Put the table right down here between us.
Yeah.
Look here, Cooper, I don't know what's going on, but could I ask one favor?
Oh, what's that?
Call off that wolf dog just long enough for me to get one crack at that polecat's mug.
What about it, Frankie?
Sure, why not?
Go ahead, Mr. Long. Nothing's holding you back.
You mean that? You won't sick that wolf on me?
Oh, I promise.
That's all I want to know. Here I come.
Well, come on. What's all this chatterboxing for?
Why not you come, huh?
Yeah, that's what I said.
All right. You asked for it.
Here, Frankie, get to your feet. Get to your feet, you hear?
How the heck's he gonna get to his feet when he's sleeping like a baby?
I say, Doc, good work.
Well, what you think I was doing? Waltzing with him?
Well, this is interesting. Yes, sit down, young man. Sit down.
Why should I sit down?
Huh?
Yeah, I just knocked out Frankie, didn't I? What's gonna keep me from treating you the same way?
What is?
Yeah, what is?
Why, Prometheus here, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Lie still. Now then, will you sit down, please?
Yeah, okay, sure.
Now then, my boy, we're about to enjoy that little hand of draw poker we missed out on last night.
Poker?
Oh, yes. And here are the cards.
Now, wait a minute, Cooper.
Quiet, Packard. You're not concerned in this.
Now, just wait a minute, Cooper. I ain't said I'd play you a game of poker.
Oh, but you will, of course.
Well, I don't know whether I will or not.
I think you will. Now then, sit down and shuffle the cards while I explain the wager.
No, sir. I ain't touching them cards till I hear what we are playing for.
It's to be draw poker.
Yeah?
You are scheduled to be a part of a scientific experiment of mine.
Don't listen to him.
Quiet, please. There's no way out for you. You're my prisoner, and I shall use you any way I see fit.
What's that got to do with this poker game?
Oh, just this. You're going to gamble with me on how soon the experiment takes place.
Do what?
Yes. Yes, instead of money, these poker chips represent hours.
Hours, huh?
Yeah.
24 chips, 24 hours.
Oh, yes. At this moment, you are 24 hours away from your fate. Every chip you lose brings you 1 hour closer to the experiment. Every chip you win from me adds 1 hour to your life.
You mean if I keep on winning chips from you, I keep adding hours to my life?
That's right.
And when I win all the chips in front of you, what happens?
Oh, I'm the banker. I can keep on losing chips as long as it suits my humor.
Well, what's we waiting for? This is right down my alley.
But remember, if you lose your stack, when those 24 chips are gone, it's the end.
Start dealing the cards, Cooper. Win, lose, or draw. This is going to be one rip-snorting poker game.
12 o'clock midnight in the Phantom Castle on an unidentified island somewhere off the west coast of Canada. Jack, Doc, and Reggie are the prisoners of Richard Cooper, who has hindered their search for Alexander Archer from the beginning. Now that he has brought the three comrades to this ancient island castle, they have found out the following. Alexander Archer himself is apparently a prisoner in the castle also, and at the moment very ill. That no one brought to this island by Cooper has ever left alive. That Cooper, besides being interested in keeping the outside world from finding Archer, is engrossed in some kind of scientific problems which have to do with experimenting with mountain lions and human beings. And finally, that Cooper enjoys playing with his victims as a cat enjoys playing with a mouse. Witness the manner in which he is working on the nerves and emotions of the three comrades.
Now then, inside with you.
But, Jack, take it easy, Reggie. Come on. Good night. Well, here we are, Reggie. Back upstairs in our own special dungeon. Hardly call this a dungeon, though. 3 or 4 rooms as big as barns with all modern conveniences.
But what about Doc?
Well, what about him? He's downstairs playing poker with Cooper.
But it doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense around here. Why did he keep us chained to our chairs down there from 8 until midnight while he and Doc played poker?
I don't know.
And why did he suddenly decide he didn't want us about anymore? Why did he order Frankie to bring us back up here to our rooms while he and Doc went on playing poker?
I don't know that either.
I don't know what's the matter with me, Jack, but I'm afraid.
What of?
I don't know. If I could only find out, if I only knew. But you sense it, Jack, don't you?
Yes, of course. There's real, actual danger here. That's the reason we can't afford to lose our heads.
I don't know what's the matter. I've never felt like this before in my life. A sort of a creeping horror.
Come on over here. Sit down on the bed. Go ahead. Sit down.
Quite.
Now then, let's try to get to the bottom of this thing. There's reason behind what's going on here. A sinister reason, perhaps, but nevertheless a good, sound reason.
Of course. We started out in search of Alexander Archer, and this is Cooper's way of stopping us.
No, it's more than that. We've had proof that Cooper doesn't gag at murder. So if he simply wanted to stop our search for Archer, why didn't he kill us in Port Forest? No, there's something more.
The man's insane, in my opinion.
No, he's not. No, Cooper's deadly sane. As a matter of fact, he's so sane, listen to that. They're not pets. They're part of something he's doing, something that's very important in his life. If we could find out what that is...
I don't like it. You hear? I don't like it.
Listen. Let's analyze what Cooper's done to us so far. Let's see if it doesn't make sense somewhere.
Quite. I know I'm acting like a bloody blighter.
First, he kidnaps us and goes to a great deal of pains to make sure we're completely disappeared out of the world.
Quite. We're as non-existent as Jake Sims' body after Frankie threw him in the underground river.
That's number one. He's made us feel utterly in his power. Now, number two. He brought us to a heavily wooded island, in the midst of which is this great, evil-looking medieval castle.
Phantom Castle. Sank 2 centuries ago and then arose after lying on the bottom of the ocean all those years.
So he says. I want more proof than his word.
He says there's a history.
No matter where it's been the last 200 years, the matter of its presence here in this wilderness is too fantastic. We're not only lost to the world, but we've been plunged into a sort of nightmarish fairyland.
Land of monsters, screaming panthers, great wolf dog with bloodshot eyes and wicked fangs. Old man Cooper playing with us like a cat with a mouse.
There you hit the key to the whole business. He's a sort of god in this world. We're merely something to amuse him. He can poke us with his finger and watch us wriggle. When he's tired, crush us under his heel.
But that's mania, Jack. Wanting to be God, to subjugate his fellows. That's insanity.
He likes to dominate, yes, but his real purpose is something else, something scientific. Haven't you noticed how he keeps referring to the advancement of science?
You mean in connection with Doc?
Well, he's fixed his attention on Doc right now, yes.
That crazy mad poker game. Doc down there playing for his life. Each poker chip representing an hour in his life.
Doc never played better poker.
Whatever possessed Cooper to start a game like that? If he really intends to use us for experiments, what's the object of delay? Why sit down at cards and tell your victim that every poker chip he can win represents another hour of reprieve for him?
Well, in the first place, real gamblers like high stakes.
But Doc's life?
He's down there sweating agony right now, but if he ever gets out of here, this will be the one poker game above all others. I think Cooper is enjoying it just as keenly.
You don't think Doc is in any immediate danger?
Not now. Remember what Linda Joyce said? As long as you amuse Cooper, you're safe. Well, I think Doc's giving him the time of his life.
I hope so. When Cooper had us handcuffed to our chairs down there, I thought something beastly was about to happen.
Hold it.
All right. Come in, Doctor.
Hello, Linda.
All right, guard. Close and lock the door. I'll pound on it when we're ready to come out. Evening, Jack. Reggie.
Righto.
Late evening. Midnight anyway.
Well, Mr. Cooper thought you boys might like to meet his assistant while he and Doc are finishing up their poker game.
Oh, they are finishing it up. Huh?
Yes. They're almost through. Dr. Thorne, I want you to meet Jack Packard.
Mr. Packard.
And this is Reggie York, Mr. Thorne.
Oh, yes. Oh, he'll do.
I'll do for what, Dr. Thorne?
What? Oh, yes, I see what you mean. Just talking out loud.
Perhaps you were, but I don't care for what you said.
Oh, come on. Let's try to get along. Everyone sit down.
Thank you, Miss Joyce.
You say Cooper thought we'd like to meet Dr. Thorne?
Yes, he's Cooper's assistant.
Assistant in what?
By his scientific investigations, of course.
Specifically, just what is Cooper investigating? What field of science is he so interested in?
Linda, I was under the impression these men were informed.
Well, you know how it is. Cooper was supposed to have told him, but I guess he didn't.
Very definitely he didn't.
Oh, yes, I see.
So, supposing you break down and tell us yourself.
If you wish, we are particularly interested in the sensation of fear, terror, especially as it is expressed in the human mind.
Fear? Terror?
That leaves a lot to be explained.
There's a very interesting experiment going on downstairs at this moment.
You mean that poker game?
Right. I was down watching a few moments ago. Extraordinary how much zest and vigor your friend Doc shows, even after 4 hours of steady playing. Oh, mind clear as crystal. Quick decisions, muscular reaction above normal, and all this because the man is playing for his life. Every fiber of mind and body are lashed to superhuman efforts by fear.
You mean Doc really is playing for his life? That business about each chip representing an hour?
Oh, positively. The number of hours until he participates in the most serious experiment, I may almost say in his final experiment for us, depends on the number of poker chips he has in front of him at the end of the game.
And when does the game end?
Let's see. Yes. 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes, isn't it, Miss Joyce?
Yes.
This man isn't being funny, Linda.
Funny?
He's perfectly serious about everything he's saying.
Oh, I assure you he is.
I wasn't sure. He spoke so glibly about using Doc in one final experiment. I assume you mean by that the experiment will lead to his death.
Almost certain to.
So, you have joined Cooper in the butchering business?
I beg your pardon?
Murder. Butchering your fellow beings.
Miss Joyce, what's this man talking about?
Well, after all, Dr. Thorne, you can't expect victims to look upon you as a very high type of individual.
I am a scientist.
Sure, but no one likes to die, even at the hands of a scientist, even for so noble a cause as the advancement of science.
The layman has a most peculiar point of view.
Dr. Thorne, if Mr. Cooper was to throw you to his pen of mountain lions...
Miss Joyce.
Oh, all right.
Did you say throw him in the den of mountain lions?
Oh, just a rather gruesome figure of speech.
May I ask you a question, Dr. Thorne?
Certainly.
You say you and Cooper are studying fear and its reactions on the mind and body of human beings.
That's right.
Then what are the mountain lions for?
I'd rather not talk about that, Mr. Packard.
Why not? They're a part of your experimental work, aren't they?
Yes, they are that.
Well, then, why so hesitant to talk about them? I thought all true scientists were eager to discuss their work.
Listen. Prometheus is howling. That means Cooper's tied him up for the night.
And that means the poker game's over.
Yes.
Well, then, Doc will be up here in a minute.
I don't know.
Why not? What do you mean you don't know?
Why, I imagine it will depend on how many poker chips he had left at the end of the game.
That was the understanding, wasn't it? He began with 24 chips, which represented 24 hours. Every chip he won from Cooper added another hour to his existence.
And with every chip he lost deducted an hour?
Oh, yes, that's right. If he lost all his chips, I don't think you'll see your friend again.
Linda, you can do something about that, can't you?
Why?
Of course you can. I don't care what happened in that game. I want to see Doc again.
But...
I won't take no for an answer. I want to see Doc again. You understand?
You're being unreasonable, Packard.
I don't care anything about reason. I want to see Doc.
Are you going to take us to Cooper?
It's no use, Reggie. If Cooper's decided...
Dr. Thorne, you're a dead man unless...
Hold it.
Hiya, folks. Here I am. Hey, Reggie, you ain't a-choking that fella, are you?
I was.
Well, doggone.
Close the door, guard. Everything's all right.
Oh, you're back with us for the night.
Why, yeah, sure. Why?
Well, we were just getting a little nervous.
Hey, you didn't think I lost in a poker game, did you?
We didn't know.
Shucks, no. Looky here. 32 poker chips. 32. Count them, folks.
Too bad it wasn't 132.
Nope. Cooper was too smart for that. Doggone smart poker player.
But you're satisfied then?
Sure. 32's better than a kick in the teeth, I always say.
That's it, then. 32 hours to live.
Well, what the heck? I can do a lot of living in 32 hours. Doggone if I can't.
Seven o'clock in the morning in the Phantom Castle on an unidentified island somewhere off the west coast of Canada. Jack, Doc, and Reggie are prisoners of Richard Cooper, who uses human guinea pigs in his scientific research into the realm of fear and terror. Last night, they met Cooper's assistant, Dr. Thorne, who told them that they were to be used in combination with mountain lions for the purpose of further research into the field of human terror. The manner and method of the experiment have not been revealed. All that seems certain is that Doc is to be the first victim, and that he is to face whatever is in store for him 32 hours from midnight last night. Now at 7 o'clock this morning, 7 of those precious hours are gone.
Hey, Jack, Reggie, you folks awake?
What's the matter, Doc?
You know what them sippy cats done to me last night?
No, what?
Well, wait till I get my shoes on. I'll come in and tell you. There.
Morning, Doc.
Listen to my footsteps, will you? Every time I walk around in here, I feel like I'm in a big auditorium.
Well, it's big enough for an auditorium. What's your trouble?
Well, you think there's trouble?
Well, because you're up and dressed at 7 in the morning, that isn't natural.
Well, Jack, you know what that passel of polecats done to me last night? After we went to bed, every hour, all night long, one of them guards come in and woke me up and made me give him one of my poker chips.
What's that?
I swear to my grandma he did.
But I don't get it. What is the object?
Didn't say. Just come in every hour and took one of them poker chips. You get it, Jack?
Yes, I'm afraid I do.
Then do a little explaining, will you?
You came up to bed last night at midnight with 32 chips you won in the poker game.
That's right.
And each chip represented an hour.
Yeah, 32 chips, 32 hours I had to go until they're going to perform some kind of experiment on me, according to Cooper.
Well, don't you see? Each hour they took a chip away from you. One of your hours gone. How many chips you got left?
I don't know. I'll go get them and look.
But, Jack, that's childish. What's Cooper's objection?
Not so childish. Cooper knows his psychology. He's trying to create fear in Doc.
Oh, look here.
He knows that watching those chips disappear one by one, actually seeing his numbered hours slipping away, will have a much more potent effect on Doc's nerves. Hold it. He's coming back.
Yeah, they took 7 chips away during the night. That leaves me 25. Silliest darn thing I've heard of yet. Taking a chip every hour when they could just as well be taking all 7 of them this morning.
Didn't bother you any, though.
Well, it made me pretty darn sore, him waking me up that way. When you reckon they'll call us down to breakfast to bring us something up here, whatever they do for eat?
Doc?
Yeah?
Look here, old fella. Do you quite realize what those 25 chips represent?
Sure, 25 hours I got left.
Well, you're taking it with bally little concern.
Huh? Hey, Jack, what's eating Reggie?
A little on the nervy side this morning.
Certainly I'm on the nervy side. I didn't sleep well, and if you ask me, I think it's time we got out of this place.
No.
Yes, I do.
Well, how do you suggest we go about it?
I don't care. Let's do something.
Oh, shucks now, Reggie. Don't you getting all upset and stuff.
And as for you, Doc, you're crazy as the rest of these bally maniacs around here.
Yeah. Hold us, son.
Well, you are. Playing poker for your life, and then accepting the outcome as though you were paying off with toothpicks.
Reggie, you're in exactly the frame of mind Cooper was hoping for.
I don't care.
You're playing right into his hands. He's interested in the fear complexes. Now, if you work up a good crop of hysteria, you're liable to be the next experiment instead of Doc here.
Yeah, and we can't have that, Reggie.
All right, let them. I'm ready for any bloody experiment they can work up.
Reggie, you're going to give us trouble. Cooper's interested in scaring his man. If Doc doesn't scare, he hasn't got any experiment.
You're not afraid, Doc.
Well, up to now, I ain't seen nothing to be scared of.
But the whole bally atmosphere of this place.
Sure, it smells like some decayed slaughterhouse. But what the heck? The beds are good, food ain't bad.
Those chips they keep taking from you. The hours growing shorter.
Just plain silly.
Well, if Doc isn't concerned, I don't know why I should be.
Now you're talking. You're kind of on the young side yet. When you've done as much waiting for the worst to happen as me and Jack has done, well...
I suppose I look pretty silly to you, too.
You're doing all right.
Besides, son, looky, 25 whole hours to go. Well, heck, that's practically a whole lifetime. More things can happen in the next 25 hours than you could write in a dozen books.
Quite.
Well, look now. If everybody's dressed and everything, how about us kicking up a fuss and see if we can't get something to eat?
Just a minute first, Doc. Reggie, do you give us your word
About what, Jack?
that you won't in any way give Cooper the idea that you're frightened?
If you say so.
I do say so. It's important.
Righto.
All right, then. Let's see what...
Hey, here's somebody.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Well, if it ain't the old poker player himself. How are you, Cooper?
Oh, dear me. So bright and cheerful this morning.
Of course I am. Why not?
Yes, and I see by my watch that it's time you turned over another of those chips to me.
Yeah, another hour gone, sure enough.
Oh, I'm afraid it has.
Well, then I reckon I got to kiss another old chip goodbye. Here you are.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, look, Cooper. How about you and me playing another game of poker tonight?
What's that?
Yeah, my stack of chips is kind of dwindling. How about giving me another chance to build it up again?
No. I'm afraid not.
No, huh?
No, couldn't do that. Oh, you're much too good a poker player.
Oh, so you admit I'm too good for you.
Well, you were last night. I was lucky to keep your pile down to 32 chips.
Your problem in psychology isn't working out very well, is it, Cooper?
Packard, I was wondering whether you weren't going to speak to me this morning.
I said your problem in psychology.
Yes, I heard you.
Doc's got a lot of weaknesses, but one of them isn't an overactive imagination.
Yes, I'm beginning to find that out.
What you mean I ain't got no imagination?
In this case, it's to your advantage, Doc.
Yeah?
Yes. If you were highly imaginative, you should be in a sweat of fear about now, with all the hocus-pocus Cooper here is set up to work on you.
Yeah? Doggone, Cooper, that's a shame, wasting all your time like this.
No, don't mind me. If I could find a man with a complete lack of fear, I haven't done so badly. It will make an interesting note in the appendix of my treatise.
Huh? What's he saying?
Looks like you're to be an interesting note in his appendix.
Appendix, huh?
So he says.
Well, I'll tell him one thing. He won't like me in this appendix. He's got to need an appendectomy the minute he puts me there.
You see, Cooper, he's scared to death.
Senseless conversation. Senseless. What's the matter with you, Mr. York?
I say.
Hunger. What about some breakfast?
Bit morose, aren't you, young man?
Quite. Always out of temper before I've had my coffee.
Yeah, when do we eat?
Food. Oh, yes, of course. Food. But I came up to see if you wouldn't like a little exercise before breakfast.
What sort of exercise?
Walk about the island?
Well, that's not a bad idea.
Yes, you've had little opportunity of seeing anything but the inside of the castle so far.
You mean you'll take us across the moat onto the main part of the island?
Yes, that was my thought.
Good. Let's go.
Yes, just a minute. You'll allow me to slip on the handcuffs first.
Well, what's that for? You said there was absolutely no way for us to escape from the island.
Yeah, you said we'd be killed if we tried to cross the reef that circles around this island.
True. But you might try it just the same.
Well, that would be our hard luck, wouldn't it?
No. 3 fine specimens. Mustn't take a chance of losing any of you. Besides, once out into the fresh air, you might take it into your hands to attack me.
Oh, that'd be silly if we couldn't escape from the island.
Nevertheless, you might do it, and I'm too old a man to be knocked about. Put your hands behind you, gentlemen.
No, I absolutely refuse.
Here now. That's not at all friendly.
I tell you I won't. Not under any circumstances.
What's the matter, boy?
Reggie.
Yes, Jack.
Put your hands behind you. Put your hands behind you.
Quite.
Yes. That's better. Here, no use to clench your fists like that. There. Now, Mr. Long.
Sure, clip 'em on. It's getting so I don't feel natural without these here cuffs on.
Now, you, Packard.
Go ahead.
But, Jack, we could have bashed this chappie right here and now.
You think so? Look at the guard at the door.
Yeah, and that elephant gun of his would have blown a hole in you so big.
Yes. Friendliness, good feeling. That's the spirit. Now then, are we ready?
Yeah, come on. Let's get started on this sightseeing tour.
Very well, gentlemen. Follow me. Now then, down these stairs to the drawbridge. There now. Open the door, guard. Dr. Thorne will be waiting for us on the other side of the drawbridge. Follow me, please.
This Dr. Thorne fella gonna take this sightseeing trip with us?
Oh, yes.
How about Linda Joyce?
Now,
Hey, what you leaving her out for? Don't she like to go for walks before breakfast, too?
now then, gentlemen, we'll lower the drawbridge.
Yeah, there she comes.
Yeah, but what started? What's making it come down?
No, you don't. That's my secret. There now, we can cross.
Doggone, crossing the drawbridge out of an honest-to-goodness castle. Wonder how many other folks in our generation's done that. Interesting, huh? Reggie?
I suppose so.
Hey, Reg, snap out of it.
No, let me alone.
Okay, fella.
There now. That brings us across. And there is Dr. Thorne waiting for us.
Yeah. Hey, look, Cooper, I just happened to think of something.
Well,
You didn't answer my question a while ago.
didn't I?
No. I asked you if that Linda Joyce gal would like to walk with us.
Yes, I know you did.
Well, wouldn't you?
Young man, I'm afraid you'll see very little of Linda Joyce in the future.
What do you mean by that, Cooper?
I've just discovered an interesting fact about Linda.
Yeah? What?
That young woman got into my good graces for no other purpose than to discover the whereabouts of Alexander Archer.
Alexander Archer?
You mean Linda's on our side? She was hunting Archie, too?
Yes. Too bad, too. A very beautiful young woman.
What you mean, too bad?
Too bad for her. Excellent for me. Women make wonderful specimens for my work in fear hysteria. Yes. Wonderful specimens.
Adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie have come to you in I Love a Mystery. Created and written by Carlton E. Morse. Scripts copyrighted by Morse Co. Incorporated. Produced and directed by story editor Jim Harmon. Featuring Les Tremaine as Jack Packard and Tony Clay as Doc Long. With Frank Brzee as Reggie York. Others in the cast included Jim Harmon as Frankie, Jack Lester as the rustic Mr. Cooper, Art Hearn as Captain Frenchie, Corey Seaton as Laura, and Barbara Gratz as Mrs. McGinnis. Your announcer, Fred Foy. This presentation has come from Hollywood.